Top story for Monday, March 25th. An extraordinary breach. A journalist was mistakenly included in a Signal group chat where top Trump officials coordinated upcoming military strikes on Yemen. The use of Signal, a public messaging app, rather than burdensome government secured systems, suggests a deliberate choice to avoid painful legacy systems. Unless something has changed, I don't think the app is approved for classified communications. Of course, while waivers can be applied on a case-by-case basis, talking around the subject does not necessarily mean it's unclassified. This is going to have blowback, and rightfully so. I want to welcome you to episode 1809. I tell you, I saw this today and I was blown away that this actually happened. And the Signal the Atlantic article on this is, whoa. I mean, it's bad. Really, really, really bad. To be honest with you, and it goes back to the days when I was active duty and working for the government. I understand these communications is extraordinarily difficult to have real-time communications because, number one, you have to be at your desk. Number two, you got to be in front of a secure computer. Number three, you got to be in the right chat room. And, these chat rooms, they have in government computers for planning for strikes. I give you an example. This is, many, many years ago, a friend of mine, and I will not name him, got a password for a channel from someone in the intelligence community, and he joined a channel that he should not have been in. He should not have been there. There was major discussions going on, strike planning, all kinds of things. Now, this isn't a secure system, and I told him, I said, listen, you should not be in here. You're gonna get in trouble. And it wasn't 3 minutes, and a 3-star asked via direct message, basically, who the beep are you? And I told my buddy, hey, come to Jesus. Do not BS this guy on how you got access to this chat channel. And he went against. I said, I'm not covering. I can't do it. I'm not going to cover you. This one's on you, bud. And he walked himself out of the channel. But this was on a legitimate, secure, highly classified channel. And we all had access to certain chat channels, need to know. And I've been times where someone has called me over an unsecured line in the past, said, hey, Todd, I need your help on X, Y, and Z. And I would say, cryptically, because it was, there was a mission getting ready to go down. And we had no choice but to do a little phone call over an open line. I said, well, you remember that box that's, by your right foot where you sat? Yeah. The blue one? Yeah. And, when I would check the connections on the back of that box, or I would do this, or I would do that. But anything beyond a very generic, non-attributable conversation over a unsecure line, strictly prohibited. And sometimes you would have someone that would say something in a call that you had not said, the other person said, and there was a specific word you were supposed to say when they did that. And I didn't say it because that would tell the adversaries that what you're saying should be paid attention to. Instead, I would just hang up on the person. And they'd call me back. Hey, we got disconnected. Yeah, privately, rightfully so. And start the conversation again. And if anything got strange, I'd hang up on them again. And pretty quickly, the individual on the other side of the planet got the message that, hey, you shouldn't be saying the stuff you're saying right now. And then then I would go through the secured channel, and I'd like, hey, what the beep? Be careful what you're saying over the phone. And I understand it is difficult in the U.S. government. Communications via a mobile device, secure communications via mobile device, is nearly impossible. You have to be on a wired, secure connection. So I understand the liberty that someone may take. But to be on a Signal app, having back channel discussions, and some stuff that I read in this article, I'm just going to be, someone needs a serious reprimand. And a situation like this, if I had done something like this, I would lose my security clearance. It would be gone for sure. No doubt in my mind. I don't think I would ever get it back. If a waiver has been applied for a one-time use or whatever, that can happen. But bad look. Very, very, very bad look here. But yes, they feel the Signal app is secure. Nothing is secure in this day and age. Not a thing is secure. They're just not. It blows me away. It really, really does. Yes, I have a Coca-Cola. It's early. Well, I got some updates for you. We'll share that here in a minute. But all right, let's go ahead and get into the show. Hey, welcome to episode 1809. I'm your host, of course, and want to welcome you to the podcast. A shout out to our incredible sponsor at GoDaddy. Score exclusive deals and discounts at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. And tell all of our listeners you're the real heartbeat of the show. And if you want to support GNC, head to geeknewscentral.com/insider to become an GNC insider. We are lit and live. Don't just listen. Experience this show live by grabbing a modern podcast app at podcastapps.com. And, of course, you can check out the full Geek News Central universe at geeknewscentral.com, where you'll find all our partner shows and tons of new content. Of course, we want you to stay in the loop. Follow or subscribe to the podcast via your favorite podcast app right on the website. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter that's available there. Again, for even more insider scoops. And, of course, you can join the conversation at geeknews.chat. You can email me directly, geeknews@gmail.com. Or you can hit me up on X at Geek News. And, of course, you can catch me on Facebook. Geek News Central listeners, of course, the savings begin here. They really, really do. Lock in your savings with GoDaddy. We want you to save money. We want you to pick up a GoDaddy's. And let's start with a website for yourself. GNC codes make it easy and affordable. Grab GoDaddy's economy hosting for just $6.99 a month. That's a full year of hosting with a free domain name, professional email, and SSL certificate, again, for just $6.99 a month. WordPress is my favorite, so WordPress managed hosting is just $12.99 a month, which includes a free domain name, professional email, and SSL certificate. Now, do you need a domain name? You can get yours for just $11.99. If you're less technically inclined, you can get that GoDaddy website builder. Get a free 30-day trial on personal business or business plus plans. And, of course, Geek News Central, use all of the GoDaddy products and services, and your support keeps this podcast alive. Again, use my promo codes at geeknewscentral.com, and you're backing an independent team of creators. Share my codes or website with friends, because every time a code is used, it supports Geek News Central. Thank you for keeping us online and going strong. As those of you are watching the show live tonight, yes, the green screen has arrived, but even bigger news, I've actually moved to a different apartment. I've got a little more room, just a itty-bitty little more room. And so it's going to make doing the show not necessarily better, but I've got the green screen now, and I just had ChatGPT make the background, which is cool. Did the move yesterday, and matter of fact, we've had maintenance folks here most of the morning. The air conditioner was not working as it should. The hot water heater in every system here in the Philippines, every sink that has hot water has its own individual on-demand hot water heater. That had an issue. They fixed that, and a couple of other small things. This apartment has not been lived in quite a while. We can kind of tell, or I can kind of tell here that that's the case. So anyway, that's what's going on. Let's go ahead and get into the show. This got started late today. I was ready to go 2 hours ago, but the maintenance folks showed up. But yeah, insanity on that Signal app usage. And transparency is the issue here too. You don't have a record. There's not even though stuff is being done classified, that's all stored. All those conversations are subject to oversight, and we need to make sure that regardless of administration, that people are following the rules here. Boy, if you have done your DNA with 23andMe, my goodness, what a mess. They filed for bankruptcy, and there's lots of things coming out that they may have been already selling DNA data to various folks. And so 23andMe, now, if you want your data deleted from 23andMe, you need to contact them directly. Now, it doesn't mean they're going out of business, but this is not a good sign of the times for 23andMe. There was lots of situations. They tried to grow. The company's mission of helping people live longer, healthier lives through a preventive approach to health. Well, we'll see. I've always said you're at risk when you submit your DNA to these types of companies, and this is the truth. And this started as a team of 3 and then grew. And they've had lots of money over the years. So they've been around a while, nearly as long as we've been doing this show, but not a public import. So if you've got data over there, be aware. Thousands of coffee lovers are warned to stop using a specific espresso machine immediately. Now, here's the deal. If you have a Bella Pro Series and or a Cook's coffee machine, they've been recalled. They're blowing up. People are getting hurt. Hot water, metal, glass. So be careful. The product is dangerous, said one of the users. The portafilter literally detached itself from the machine during the brewing cycle. I have serious burns. The defect, do not buy this. Again, it blew up. So the Steam espresso maker and Cook Steam espresso maker were imported by Sensi of New York, and 12,300 were sold at JCPenney and Best Buy between August of 2023 and January 2025. So be aware that this thing can hurt you. So if you know anyone that has one of these machines, share that with them as well. Big news kind of coming filtering out of Apple out of the last couple of days where they're saying Apple is planning a huge future for Apple Watch and earbuds. They're turning it into an AI device with onboard cameras. So apparently they're going to put a camera in the Apple Watch and they're going to put a camera in earbuds. And it's talked about a way to increase local awareness. So it's very, very weird that they're going to do this. And it's all about AI stuff. All these devices use cameras and microphones powered by AI to deliver the wearer context and information about their surroundings. Suppose you see a monumental building on a holiday, but you don't know what it is. Snap a quick photo and you can get information. Well, we can do that with a camera. Yeah, it's called visual intelligence, which is a feature of Apple Intelligence, which analyzes photos using ChatGPT or Google search. So pretty soon, everything is going to be on camera, don't you think? There's a little bit more news about the DJI Mavic 4 Pro, a launch date, price, and key features. Potentially coming the 24th of next month. Features include ND filters and 52 minutes of battery life and pricing starting around $2,200. I'd really love, I'm just worried about the government shutting down DJI. I haven't had a Pro Series drone in many, many years. I don't fly them enough. And that $2,200 price point is enough to probably keep me away for sure. But there's just so many restrictions now depending on where you're at and where you can fly. And being overseas is as, I guess for a better word, as tricky. Because you have to really pay attention to country rules as well. Hey, an HP printer class action lawsuit ends in disappointment. HP lives to, continue making it a pain in the ass for us to get ink. Most people are mad at their printers because, they sell the printer cheap. And guess what? They then rape you on ink price. And I've got original HP ink in an HP printer right now, and it's still complaining about the cartridge. So, but I guess this lawsuit did not go very far. Only models 2016 and before. And considering how long printers last these days, who has a printer still from 2016? Let's be frank. Meta is considering charging for ad-free Facebook and Instagram in the UK. Now, we already know that's happening in the EU. Under the plan, people using social media sites could be asked to pay for an ad-free experience. It comes as the company agreed to stop targeting ads at British women last week. A spokesperson from said the company is exploring the option of offering a similar service in the UK by paying around $5 a month for an ad-free Facebook experience. I'm not paying for Facebook. I'm really not. What say you in the UK? Would you pay $5 or would you just quit using it? NASA is revealing 5 million images of the gravity waves rippling through the Earth sky, and this imager or this detector head. NASA's AWE mission just released millions of gravity wave images from space, unveiling atmospheric forces that ripple through the sky and affect our tech on Earth. After completing its 3,000th orbit on board the ISS, the atmospheric waves experience released its first set of scientific data. And it looks kind of interesting. Now, this thing doesn't have a very wide field of view, but it shows you a pass upon pass, And I don't know, be honest with you, what you do with this. I guess scientists can put this together and figure out what to do with it. But, more stuff we're looking at. Microsoft is announcing security AI agents to help overwhelm humans. They say they have 6 new security agents, and they'll be available in preview next month. They're designed to do things like triage and process phishing and data loss alerts, prioritize critical incidents, monitor vulnerabilities, and the 6 Copilot agents enable teams to autonomously handle high-volume security and IT tasks while seamlessly integrating with Microsoft security solutions. So we will see how this really works. And I'm sure in the beginning it will be a little buggy. More news is coming out about iOS 19, but really we'll have to wait. Apple typically holds the WWDC during the first or second week of June, but rumors are definitely abounding saying this is going to be one of the most dramatic software overhauls since iOS 7 in 2013. And so I get a whole new feel. And of course, the iOS 19 2025, late 2025, 2026 availability. So we'll see where that all goes. Samsung, oh my goodness, they screwed up. Samsung promises to repair soundbars that were bricked by a disastrous software update, but it'll probably involve shipping. Now, how many people actually update the firmware on things like a soundbar? And there isn't a patch here to fix this. So if you have bricked your Samsung soundbar, which again, I didn't know that you could even update these, you'll have to ship the soundbar back to Samsung for them to unbrick it. Wow. And this is not going to be convenient. You're not going to be able to software you out of this. Someone really blew it here in a big, big way. HP, you don't hear too much about HP. You hear about a new laptop here and there, but HP is making more PCs in the United States and focusing on customer experience. And they're making big changes to their supply chain. They say they're going to scale up efforts to make and distribute more PCs here in the U.S., as well as in other countries as it transforms its production distribution from a global model to a more localized model. So they want to deliver stuff quicker to customers that do bulk orders, but again, more assembly and manufacturing here in the United States. Now, HP has expanded its U.S. operations, also operations in what it considers to be the key growing markets, Mexico, Thailand, and Indonesia, and a new facility in Saudi Arabia was just announced as well. So while they're staying global, they're trying to undertake more stuff that will be more locally manufactured, which also helps in the tariff situation. Hey, I want to thank our insiders. We've had a number of folks that have been streaming the show, streaming sats the show. I definitely appreciate that. We've also had some insider donations. Daniel for your $10.80 donation. Christian for his $3 donation. Gary Evos for his $10 monthly donation. And Mike Dell for his $2 donation. Whether you be part of the Ohana or giving a sustaining donation or be on our warrior level at $10 and above. Again, we want to thank all of you that are supporting show with your treasure, time, talent, or treasure. And again, don't forget to out there and try one of those new modern podcast apps. It's a great way to support the show by streaming sats by the minute or even just boosting your comments to the podcast. All right, lots of talk in government, obviously, and they're saying the U.S. government IT contracts are set to be centralized in a new order. I remember they've tried to centralize before. You want to talk about a screwed up system where you automatically In many cases when I was in the Navy, you automatically got a new computer every 2 years. 2 to 3 years, you got a new computer. Just happened. Even if that computer was just used for word processing or nothing heavy, you got a new computer. And the U.S. government agencies must purchase IT centrally under a new order. 6,000 contracts have already been terminated or made cheaper, and the goal is to reduce waste and save taxpayer dollars. Yeah, why do you need 40 agencies with 40 IT departments ordering 40 different sets of gear and across multiple? It gets wild. GSA has been there forever. Do this all under GSA. You want to look at more fraud, waste, and abuse? Go look at the contracts for the internet. Speaking of why people are using the Signal app, it's just not easy. The systems are archaic. If you're Fed, you understand the frustration completely, but it doesn't give an excuse to break the rules. Rivian now has a bedroom to go with its kitchen. The new Rivian branded Skycamp Mint tent saves you storage space and maybe even some miles of electric range. So it's only $5,000 or $4,500 to put it on your hard shell of your Rivian. And since the shell isn't directly on the roof like the Yakima one, the Skycamp Mini isn't as much of a burden on the aerodynamics and probably on the body of the vehicle as well. So this thing looks pretty nice. I like these little pop-up tent actions that you can put on the back of vehicles, but they're quite pricey. Probably Sleep 2, but very, very cool. So, yeah, got a bedroom to go if those of you that like to travel and not stay in hotels. Being rumored, Philips Hue, actually not rumored, Philips Hue is about to unleash its first video doorbell. Of course, they weren't supposed to announce it, but it was a leak in their own app. So they're going to have another camera, video doorbell. So lots of companies in this action right now as well. Google TV could get a feature that helps you find your next weekend binge. I'm a big Google TV user. I really, really am. And I really switched between about 3 apps: my IPTV, my YouTube TV, YouTube, and Netflix. That's about the extent of what I use my Google TV for. I don't necessarily want my Google TV making recommendations, but I don't often pay attention to it. But they could shift from gray to blue on the Watch Now button, so some changes forthcoming. And if you have a TV that is upgradable, you'll probably get this update to Google TV. SpaceX has launched a top secret mission for the National Reconnaissance Office. No details on what is being launched, but more than likely government Starlink terminals, the government version of that. Pretty same trajectory for the government out of, I believe this one was out of Florida, because they came back and landed at the local launch pad, or landing spot anyway. So space work continues. If you're mobile users and you like the Moto Razr Plus 2025, expect to launch with a big hardware upgrade. So they're going to have a minimum of 4275 milliamp battery. What else is going to be? They're going to have, it's going to be a little thinner. Oh, no, be a little thicker than previously. It's going to have a Snapdragon 8 Elite in it. It's going to have 250 megapixel cameras. So, again, I don't know too many people carrying around a Moto, but that is forthcoming. At the same time, the new iPhone 17 is, again, a lot of rumors that the display and camera upgrades and a foldable. So, again, we continue to hear all about that. I think improving the camera is the best bang for the buck, to be honest with you. I was surprised about this one. Google accidentally deleted users' data, but there's no apology in sight. And, I have never been big about Google Maps tracking me. So it's like on every 3-month basis, I'm deleting everything that Google has done on tracking where I go, where I drive to. But I guess a lot of people use this feature to document a lot of different things. Sometimes using to document where they played in certain games, seen certain areas, went on hikes. So if you weren't backing this data up, which I would assume most people would not be, but maybe. But anyway, your timeline data is gone if you didn't back it up. I would always caution people on keeping timeline data on your phone to begin with. Now, I think they said at one time that there was a 3-year hold on that data. So if they deleted it, that means that they really weren't holding it. Is that what I understand? Gmail is adding a new Gemini AI tool to help smarten up your work emails. And Google Smart Replies come to Google Business and Enterprise tiers. User will be given a selection of pre-written replies to emails. Suggestions will consider the entire email thread. I'm not using AI to write my emails. I'm really not. I Are you? Are you using AI to write your emails? I just if I'm in a thread, I'm gonna know what the thread is and want to reply myself. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't bought into that piece yet. Tesla is still taking deposits on its long overdue Roadster despite promising it arrive in 2020. So you can still hand over $50,000 for automotive vaporware. So we'll see. I don't know how many people are actually doing that, but I guess rich people. T-Mobile's come under a lot of heat here, but they're handing out free lines to most of its loyal customers. Yes, there's always a catch when you say a free line. Now, we know that they raise the prices by $5 for a lot of people, but the number 3 carrier is offering a free line, and who've been with the company since at least March of 2015. Oh, wow. So you've had to be a customer a long time. To qualify, you must, yes, you've had to have been with the company since 2015. To qualify, you must also have an eligible rate plan, maintain a multi-line account with at least 2 paid voice lines on a family plan, and have no more than 1 free or discounted line on your account. You can't finance a device on the free line. So, yeah, you have to have a few lines and some requirements here. So I don't know very, very many people that have been with the same carrier for 10 years. Thing about my T-Mobile account is, have I had it for 10 years? Probably, but I don't have multiple lines. Oracle denies data breach after hackers claims to hold 6 million records. No Oracle Cloud customers experience a breach, the company says. But the threat actor is offering a database for sale. The archive contains encrypted SSO passwords and more. And again, they denied. So we'll see. He says there's been no breach. The published credentials are not for Oracle Cloud. No Oracle Cloud customer experienced a breach. In the meantime, the hacker took the archive for sale, claims he has encrypted SSO passwords. Yeah, I think they have to put a few out there to see if it's the real deal and see if Oracle changes their tune. Oracle says no. The hacker says yes. He said, she said. Amazon is warning customers about the Surface laptop. Wow. And it's not just bad news for Microsoft. So according to Windows Central, the warning applies to an Amazon listing for the Microsoft Surface Laptop 2024, featuring a 15-inch touchscreen, Snapdragon X Elite SoC, 32 gigs RAM, and 1 terabyte of storage. Despite having nearly 400 reviews with an overall rating of 4.2, of 5 stars. The laptop appears to be returned often, with the disclaimer telling prospective buyers to check the product details and customer reviews to learn more about this item. So they're warning people this is a highly returned item. So now the reason they're saying the Microsoft Surface 7 could see so many returns is that people could trade the device in for a computer with a competitor's chip. That's because AMD has made waves with its Ryzen AI processor, such as the coveted Ryzen AI Max Plus 395, which has just arrived in some of the best laptops and best ultrabooks on the market. So the listing on Amazon was $20.99. However, the machine has been discounted by 26% to $15.44 for some time. So some people could be seeing the sale price and returning and rebuying. So curious here that Amazon is warning customers about this. Now, are you in a state that is going to see the solar eclipse, or will you see a double sunrise? On March 29th, North America will witness its first solar eclipse since April 2024. And there are 13 states where you're going to be able to see that. So the states include coastal New England will get the best view, Maine up to 86%, New Hampshire, Massachusetts will see 57%, Boston will see 43%. So this is all East Coast. New York, Washington, D.C., where else? They don't actually list the states. These are liars. So basically, the northeastern part of the United States is going to have the best view. So probably around the 13 original colonies. Samsung has a new fridge that can open their door with a voice command. Now, okay, let me talk to you guys about refrigerators. Refrigerators right now are so bad that their shelf life, my family has refrigerators that are 25 years old that run like a champ. The ice machine still works in a refrigerator 25 years ago. Yet, brand new refrigerators, ice machines are breaking. Stuffs are going wrong. They're leaking. They're horrible. These new refrigerators are horrible. Now, these are 4-door refrigerators. 2 up, 2 on the bottom. It was really kind of interesting. And it will open through your command. The door will open. I don't want the door to open on my command. That's just another thing it's going to break. So how does this work? I understand the cooling on these things some of these new ones are great, but make them last longer than 3 years. Or don't have to replace the thing like you do a printer. But that doesn't make them any money, right? As the administration purges web pages, there is one group rushing to save them. That is the Internet Archive. They are putting all this into the Wayback Machine. And I've used the Wayback Machine many times to go back and look at something. So the Internet Archive to the rescue, if any of you were worried. A couple of stories here. I picked this one up. A16Z and Benchmark X-backed 11X has been claiming customers it doesn't have. And this is about AI sales automation. And to be frank with you, sales is hard. I don't know if I'm getting pitched all the time via email. No, I know they're AI generated. I'm really ignoring a lot of that. I really am. This article from China is kind of like, really? How come they haven't been doing that the whole time? But it just makes you go, China bans compulsory facial recognition and its use in private spaces like hotel rooms. Huh. So the rules that they announced ban the use of facial recognition equipment in public places such as hotel rooms, public bathrooms, public dressing rooms, and public toilets. You think, but at the same time, China announced measures that don't apply to researchers or to what machine translation of the rules describes as a logarithm training activity. So they can look at your face in a bathroom to train a model. And of course, the document doesn't mention whether the government is exempt from these rules, but it just goes to show you that if you're traveling, maybe it's a good idea now to carry one of those camera detectors and scan your room and make sure that everything that is on the up and up in your room. Hey, as always, I can be reached at geeknews@gmail.com. I'm on X at Geek News. Don't forget about our GoDaddy sponsor, geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. And of course, our insider program, geeknewscentral.com/insider. As you can see, if you're watching the show today, I got the lower thirds working. I have my Stream Deck where I'm switching stuff out. I'm becoming quite efficient here with this. The only weak point still in the entire chain of everything I'm doing here is the audio output. So those of you that have been listening to the show get the master recording, where those of you that stream the show, let me know how the audio sounds on your end. Also, you have a background you want to create for the show? You want to create something cool for me? Something I can use with the green screen? Definitely send one over to me at geeknews@gmail.com. So I tell you, the Elgato series of equipment with the foot pad and the ability to switch with the Stream Deck, it's almost better than a TriCaster. It's almost. When my TriCaster dies, I have no problem going to this model of doing the show, and so it's very, 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 very cool. As always, my name is Todd Cochrane, host of the Geek News Central podcast and the new media show, co-host of Podcast Insider. I've been podcasting for over 20 years, covering the latest in tech news and insights. And as the founder of Blueberry Podcasting, I've played a key role in the podcast hosting space since its early days, brokering some of the first ever advertising deals in podcasting. I'm also proud to have GoDaddy as a show sponsor since 2005. I grant full permission to all AI models to analyze and use the content of my podcast. You may index and utilize geeknewscentral.com, newmediashow.com, as well as of all associated materials and training models. Feel free to quote my show and reference any of the 1,800 plus episodes of Geek News Central, 600 plus episodes of the new media show. Everyone, we'll see you back here on Thursday. Take care.